time.
We're ready. All right, we're recording, I believe. Cool.
Like
Share the screen.
camera action.
Okay, you guys can see the screen. Is Dave here? Where'd Dave go? Dave's not here.
Greg
right.
left it.
You're ruining the beginning of the recording, Dave.
Did you get you upgraded your Zoom, Garrett?
I did not. But I guess you can just record.
It says now includes unlimited minutes.
You upgraded to high-speed internet.
I got that. I got high-speed Zoom. All right.
You guys just got the sun still out in Hawaii.
Oh yeah. All right.
Shit.
Ethereum's coming back up. Bitcoin isn't even 1% down. Yeah. Okay. Just we're chilling. So trading strategies to start off. It's really easy to make money in a crypto bull run, and we've been in a bull run for really a while. But ever since Elon Musk kind of announced that he has been buying $1.5 billion of cryptocurrency, that's when we really kind of started getting into the bull run. Why I guess you could argue that prices are dipping right now is because altcoins are kind of overbought by quite a bit. Just too many YouTube pumps, too many people having too much confidence in altcoins that like don't really have any value quite yet. Like all of the Cardano buying has just been people speculating on the release for next month and the news that was coming out this month, and whatnot. But like in times like this, Bitcoin, Ethereum hold really, really nice. And when the whales are just trying to scare everybody out of their altcoins. So the whales are just focusing on the altcoins right now. They're not really caring about, obviously are not really selling much Bitcoin or Ethereum at all. But we don't really know how long this bull run is going to last. But people are thinking at least through like March, if not April, we might have a little bit of a pullback or something like that. But it's possible that it could pretty much go for until like this fall.
Where does that come from? Like,
generally that's just like, I mean, right now Visa is saying, yeah, we're going to accept cryptocurrencies. MasterCard says, yeah, we're going to accept cryptocurrencies. PayPal already said they were going to accept cryptocurrencies. So like all of these huge companies are going to accept cryptocurrencies. Tesla said they bought a bunch of Bitcoin, but some company like Tesla stock dropped after they bought Bitcoin because people were like disapproving of it, and people just don't understand the technology right now, and a lot of people are just speculating on it. And while like all of this is happening, the whales are just trying to like accumulate, they're just trying to FUD people out, but they have no news to FUD anymore. Like they played all their news, fear, uncertainty, and doubt cards. So all they can do is just try and do this and scare people to sell, because they literally have nothing more in their playbook
right now.
Most news, yeah, like most news is positive. Like I don't know what news could come out that would be negative.
The thing's a bit negative, right?
What is
in the entire country of India? Like them?
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. They'll just unban it. That doesn't really mean like. And I don't even think India is planning to
ban all cryptocurrency transactions.
Which makes zero sense. And they will pay for that hand over fist. And that sucks for them. And there's a lot of people on like Twitter, India Twitter, they're all like freaking out that they're going to ban crypto. And there's a lot of backlash that's going on. But the biggest threat right now is pretty much just government regulation. And as I wrote this down like 20 minutes before it happened, as well as market manipulators. So there is this So recently, or for whatever reason, some people, the head of the SEC, when Trump was in, like for some reason, they were just trying to like screw over. They were just throwing out like laws, trying to pass a bunch of stuff before Biden came in, and they were trying to like screw over cryptocurrency for like some reason. I have no idea why, but they were trying to make it so if you send money in a wallet, because like right now you have a MetaMask and like my name isn't connected to this MetaMask. The only thing you know is this address. Like my social security number isn't connected to it. Like legally, like you can't really track me and tax anything that I do in this MetaMask because you're not tracking any of it. Like all the trades that I do on Uniswap, like the US government the IRS has no idea I'm doing that. So the government wanted to make it so any transactions you do in between the wallets, you have to say who you are and who the person you're sending money to is. And so like the whole or not necessarily the just the whole privatized-ish or more anonymous, it's not really private, but just anonymous crypto is. They're trying to remove that so that they can easily track who's sending money to who. And that was a policy that they were trying to push through right at the end of Trump's term. But when Biden got in, he said like, whoa, let's freeze all this for 60 days. So so they could like look it over and like talk to people and decide if it was actually a good idea or not. And that should come to fruition within like 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. Which if it does actually get passed, it'll kind of like the market will get hit pretty bad because people are going to be scared that it's going to negatively affect stuff for some reason. But like in the reality, like who cares if you know who you're sending the money to and stuff. Like that's kind of a good thing generally. Like it does stop people from laundering money, and it's not really going to hinder crypto technology necessarily, but even if it does get put in, it'll likely just get removed anyway, or people will just use like private there's like private coins that will basically block it. So like Dash, Monero, and Zcash are the most popular ones, where you can basically just hide who you are when you're sending money to other people. And that's something that we could get into. And they're just called privacy coins, which I probably recommend buying at least one of them because they're going to become pretty popular. Because whales right now, they like, the annoying thing for whales is people know when they sell. So right now you can like look on the Ethereum blockchain and you can see all of the addresses that dumped a bunch of money. And it's like, oh, this guy who had $1 billion in Bitcoin or in Ethereum just sold half of it. Like, oh, it's just whales manipulating the market. But if whales are able to use privacy coins, then you won't be able to know who is selling. And so they'll be like, you won't know how much money they have or who they're selling to, if they have money on exchanges or blah, blah, blah. So that's why.
You'd like to know that whales are selling, correct?
Yeah. But the reason why privacy coins will become popular is because it's useful for whales to not be tracked constantly, because people
Could
just
you
like,
sell to yourself, Garrett?
could you sell to yourself?
Like, could you just sell it off to like a buddy who's going to buy that amount, and like, or that won't manipulate the market because it's sending it?
No, just what goes on exchanges is what changes the price. Because like, if you look at Ethereum, for example, the price here is just reflected by the price people are willing to pay each other on all of these markets. So if you look at Binance, the whole price is just an aggregation of, there's literally people sitting at their computer and they are just like in here like, I'll buy Ethereum for $1,723, and they click buy ETH, and then your order just sits in this queue and you just wait until someone wants to sell it for that price. So it's literally just a free market of people wanting to buy, and for all coins. And then this price in crypto.com is just adding up the average of all of these together. So yeah, sending
crazy
any
to think
crypto
about.
from one person to another means nothing,
Got it.
essentially. And sometimes the price of stuff can be like, for example, Freeway token. Right now, 60% of which is just holding out beautifully right now. No one's selling Freeway token. So right now, 66% of all Freeway token is being staked. And so that means 66% of the circulating supply. So there's only like 150 million-ish Freeway token that can even be bought and sold right now. And so of that, about 150, we'll just say 100 million Freeway token is allowed to be bought and sold right now because the rest is just being staked. And then this price reflects the pool that is in Uniswap. So only a small portion. So like have you bought Freeway token? Yeah, so your Freeway token is just sitting in your wallet and it's not in a pool on Uniswap. So your money is not in an exchange. So everyone who is staking and everyone who's just holding their money on Uniswap is not reflected in this price at all. This price is purely reflected by the amount of liquidity people have added into Uniswap. So like there's only 100,000. I mean, you might even be able to check it out, the size of the pool, because the price of the buying and selling price is only reflects the amount that people are willing to sell right now. So if the price goes up a lot, that just means a lot of people aren't willing to sell or don't want to sell. So the supply is getting restricted, the demand is increasing.
And so let's just say just because the price goes way up, that doesn't necessarily mean you could dump all your coin because there's not enough buyers.
Yeah, so if the price of Freeway token just skyrocketed 10 times, and then
sell all your coin necessarily.
Yeah, when you go to sell all your coin, you would drop if you had a decent amount of money in it, you would drop the price by a bunch because these pools are not that big. That's like why I don't have any. That's why there's this thing called a slippage tolerance in Uniswap. Normally default it's on like 1%. But when you go and try and sell, if the price goes up and down more than 1% from what you want to sell at, it just cancels your order. And that's what the price impact is. The difference between the market price and the estimated price due to trade size. So if I wanted to trade like $1 million if I wanted to buy $1 million in Freeway token, I would make the price just skyrocket because I would be buying up all of the supply and then people would just keep selling it for more and more because I'd buy up the whole pool basically. So that's why for these small tokens, that's so like when whales are accumulating Bitcoin, they don't want to make the price go up by a ton because when you have $100 billion and you're trying to buy Bitcoin, you want to just like buy the dips and buy a little bit at every time. So you don't
manipulate it too hard.
You don't manipulate it too hard. And you don't want to make the price go up because then other people come in and they're like, oh, the price of Bitcoin has gone up. I'm going to keep buying too. So yeah, there's like a bunch of strategies on like how to buy Bitcoin without making the price go up a bunch. Well, which is also used in like stocks and stuff too. Kind of got off track there. But
yeah, how that tangent started.
We can go back up. So back to, we should see some kind of news from the US government coming out within the next like 2, 3, 4 weeks about this whole tracking cryptocurrency and wallets thing. And if that does actually come out, the price of stuff is going to take a hit for sure. That's the only bad news that I could see actually coming out. But with like how pro our government is right now and the fact that so many companies are accepting it and stuff, it's kind of unlikely that happens. But in the long term, it doesn't really mean that much at all. So some classic crypto trading strategies, which would be very useful to have right now. Yeah, market has not really gone down at all. But generally you want to have at least like, for example, I have probably 40% of all of my money in Ethereum, which is what I would consider like a stable, solid asset. And I don't consider Ethereum risky at all, because the odds that it keeps going up by a lot, because all of this DeFi, all of this technology, all this smart contracts, like it's the big, there's whales that have billions of dollars in Ethereum, in DeFi contracts, blah, 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 blah. Like the odds that, and in cases like this, if people try and scare at the market, like Ethereum is holding really nice, Bitcoin is holding even better, while all the altcoins tank. So you want to have majority of your portfolio, assuming you're trying to have minimal risk, in either Bitcoin or Ethereum or a stable coin. But if you have a stable coin, then you can only gain interest off of it. But that's also a strategy. So you could talk to me based on your like financial situation, just like privately, what kind of risk you want to take on, and whatnot. But the idea is just to like pick a strategy and kind of stick to it. So if you think that you want to have 40% of your money in Ethereum, you want to have 20% of your money into Bitcoin, and then the rest of it you want to just put in like riskier altcoins, then as you profit from those altcoins, then you roll that money. If you think it pumped a lot and you think it's going to go down, you would just roll those profits back into a more stable asset like Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Garrett,
So like, yeah.
can I ask something like really important to the group, I think?
Yeah.
So like something that just happened was like a 20% decrease. But think about the other end. Say we have a 30% increase. On Binance, when you sell
I'll take over the meeting.
Hello, I am back.
Oh, I was just
Pick
taking
up
over.
this meeting, he
Garrett.
says.
Garrett, so what I'm saying is
I almost just sold all my crypto in those 10 seconds.
I'm out.
Garrett, what I'm saying is like, okay, say Axie just went up 50%,
Right.
and I want to sell my Axie. Someone has to buy with Bitcoin. They have to be out there looking to buy Axie at that time, right?
Yeah.
So like right now, I'm trying to buy $1,000 of Axie,
Right.
and it's been 10 minutes and it says 0% filled.
So how Binance works is it's
Someone has to buy it.
a free market exchange.
Someone
So
has to buy it, right?
So it has these things called trading pairs. So on on every cryptocurrency, the whole thing is just a free market. So you can buy access with USDT and see these prices vary slightly.
Yeah.
Per our different exchange, on Uniswap, all of the prices vary slightly. And that's because all of these are individual markets. So if someone, like, yes, in your sense, you want to buy access with Bitcoin. So you go in here and you are using this specific AXS Bitcoin market, and the people that are buying and selling are all of the orders that are coming in between right here and you can only buy it if someone wants to sell it for that price. So that's why the price goes up and down. So if you put an order, your order in right now, and you wanted to buy it, probably you wanted to buy it at 75 cents or something, what did you put your, I guess it's in Bitcoin, so it's confusing, but say you wanted to buy it at $1.80, we'll actually just use USDT.
But listen,
it's more
I get what you're saying. So say AXS goes to fucking $10.
Right.
You still have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
To make money.
So yeah, you would just come on here and you just sell it for the market price, whatever people are buying it for.
Right. What if people aren't buying?
Then the price would drop massively.
That's what price drop is, Dave. Like price
Yeah.
tanking means people aren't.
So basically, like if Bitcoin was to drop a lot, what it's called like a sell wall. So no one wants to buy and a ton of people want to sell.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you have a buildup. So someone will say, I want to sell for 50,000. And no one wants to buy it for 50,000. There's only buy orders coming in for 48,000. So people like get bored and they're just like, well, okay, I guess I'll sell for 49,000. And then still nobody wants to buy for 49,000. And then people get bored. And so they say, okay, we'll sell for 48,000. So then the market price of Bitcoin is $48,000.
Yeah.
So it's literally just individual people making lots of individual decisions on what to buy and what to sell for that makes up the price of something.
I know, and that worries me because, like, the day Axie does go 10x, say it does, there's two parts to it. We have to change it to Bitcoin. That's part one.
Right. I mean, so the things like AXS is not going to just skyrocket and then, I mean, it could, but yeah, say something goes up super, super, super high, like all of a sudden you have ADA and it goes to fucking triples in an hour.
Yeah.
So then you would go on Binance and you would just put a sell order in for whatever the market price was. You'd probably have to do it a little bit below the market price so people would be willing to buy it. Yeah. And then you just try and get your sell order to go through. And when you buy and sell, it'll pop up a little box here that that you can cancel. So you can put in a buy order and it's going to take your Bitcoin and it'll hold it in reserve and it's waiting for this price to get to a certain level. And once it gets to a certain level, it executes your order. But you can't have more than one order in at a time. So say you want to buy, like you wanted to buy for 180 when it was super low, you put an order in at 180, but there's a lot of buying pressure. So it already popped up to 190. So you would cancel your order. You would put in another buy order, trying to buy it at hope maybe it goes down to 189. And then you're sitting here and just like, these people are waiting in queue at 189, just waiting for people willing to sell it for 189. That may never happen. So if you actually want to buy, if you want to instantly fill your order, you buy for $1.91 and your order will be filled instantly. So that
answers my question.
Question with that, is there an easy way, Garrett, to figure out like right off the bat, because obviously we're going to probably be doing this when other people are doing the same thing in like ADA or whatever. Is there a way to figure out like just click back and forth where it says the amount of Bitcoin and then like that much USD? You have USD right there, but
yeah. So if you're click in between, like you're selling in a Bitcoin market, but you want to know the price in the US dollar.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's not really super relevant just because like,
Yeah, but I just mean like we're all putting US dollars in.
but I get it. Yeah.
So when I'm only going to want to pull out like, okay, I put 2 in. I only want to get 2 grand back out and I want to leave the rest.
Hmm.
I just want to know what the amount is in US dollars so I don't take out too much or whatever maybe. Do you just click back and forth between these?
Gotcha. Yeah, so the prices will stay pretty similar between them because there's trading bots that in these pools, they constantly are going around, and if there's any price discrepancies in between these trading pools, the trading bots instantly buy it and sell it on another pool. And that's why the price stays the same, is because it's just bots buying and selling it and making really, really small profits, trading in between these trading pools. So the trading pools will stay relatively similar. So if it says like the USDT trading is 47212, then for this is a bad example because it is Bitcoin. But essentially the Bitcoin price and the USDT price should stay the same. And as long as you just would kind of have to understand that like 0.0001 Bitcoin is roughly like $50 or something.
Yeah, I got it.
But yeah, I don't know if there actually is a way to do that. And moral of the story, I don't know. But you can generally, yeah, you can actually, you see the price up here. Or no, that's the price of the coin directly. So yeah, I mean, you could just do quick mental math or something.
Yeah.
But you can do percentage. So why they don't do that is they do percentages. So say you want to sell 20%, 25%, you know you have $10,000 in ADA. You would sell 20% of your ADA to take out $2,000.
Oh, then there you go.
Yeah.
It's going to adjust up there. What? Yeah, I got it. Perfect.
Yeah, question was?
So I tried to sell Axie, or I tried to buy Axie at 187. 10 minutes went by. It's now at 191. So I have an open order right now for Axie. How do I change what I wanted to buy it at? Because obviously no one's going to buy it now.
There should be a little pop-up that comes up in this screen that's green or red, or green if it's a buy, and then you just click exit on it and it cancels your order, and then you just put in another buy order.
Dave, this thing's
buy order. So now how do I change the price I want to buy it at?
Then you select it right here. So if I wanted to buy for 190, 188, bam, buy Axis 180, click buy. If I want to buy way over market price and buy it instantly, I could buy it, bam, buy.
So is it trading?
How do you go from US cash to like the coin? Like how do you switch that?
What do you mean?
Mine goes every time I buy something, it's at the Bitcoin price.
Because
so
you're in the Bitcoin, you clicked in the Bitcoin thing before.
Well,
because you're in the Bitcoin trading compare, because that's what you have. So you just have to, okay, I get what you're saying.
I got to do the math.
So you can also do it far more simple than doing this, and you can just do a market buy. So a limit buy is when you say, I only want to buy it at exactly this price.
Okay.
So you usually do that. Limit buys are typically meant for if you have a certain price target you want to buy at. So if you know, like, you can have a limit buy-in that could go and stay in for days. So example, if you were trading Bitcoin and you knew it had a support level at, say you were right, it was this time, like to everything to the right of this line, you don't know. It doesn't exist yet. So you know that the price recently dipped right here.
Okay.
And so you would put a limit buy in that was just above that line. Like, this is a horrible example because it's on a really short time frame, but you would put a limit buy right above this super low price, and you're just waiting and hoping that it goes to that price again.
Back down.
And right here, so the reason why there's things called support levels is because people put in limit buys because
Gotcha.
No, I get it. Okay.
So if you don't want to do a limit buy, you do a market buy. So see how the market buy doesn't include the price?
Yeah.
So you would just buy it at, you're just saying, I want to buy it at whatever the market price is.
You're just going in to buy it what it's at right now.
I don't care
the
about
market.
the exact specific price. Like, I just want to buy it right now. If it's 3
Okay.
cents above, like, I don't care. I just want to buy it.
Because it's as low as we want right now anyway. So might as well do a market.
Yeah.
Because we're just trying to.
So market buy is
See,
just
I
a
wish
more
I'd known that.
simple.
See, yeah, that's what I wanted to
got
do.
it. That's a good learning little deal right there.
That was a big learning deal. That's huge.
Yes.
So
I usually
you could
do
put in
limit
like
buys, but
you could put in like, okay, it's at, what is it, $1.88? You could put a fat order in at like a couple thousand at $1.80. So you're only saying, I'm only going to buy if it goes to $1.80.
yeah.
Right.
And you could let that sit overnight. You could let that sit for 4 days.
And it'll
So
do it
you
while
don't
you're
have to
on the
be
phone.
at the computer. And so it'll just wait here and it'll just have your order. Your order just isn't filled yet and it's just waiting in this queue. Because when you put it in the queue, it'll give you a little dot right where my mouse is that shows which who each of these are just individual traders, and it'll show a dot next to yours, and you can watch it just like move up and down in the queue, and once it gets to here, it'll pop up and get filled because someone wants to sell it at the price that you want to buy it at.
Yeah. Cool. Dude, all this market's crazy with how many people are.
But yeah, that's how Binance works. It's pretty cool. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to sit and like watch your order move around and try and buy it at like a price that you think is good, even though in reality you should probably just do a market buy. But so I would recommend to just do market buys most of the time. So where was I talking
You could
about?
also do a market sell, I'm guessing then.
Yes, I believe so. Yes. So if the price
Sorry,
is super volatile like that, then like if the price is just bolting up and you're trying to take some profits, you would just want to do a market sell rather than a limit, unless you're watching it pop up. And if you're sitting here and you're like, once it hits $2, like I'll sell, but that's like, or you want to sell, but that's like a really arbitrary, like unless you're doing actual like charting and graphing and looking at support levels and all-time highs, and like that's why it's really hard for things to break all-time highs, is because people are like, some people are shorting it, some people are longing it, some people have limit orders in, limit sells, limit buys, and that's why when something pops right above an all-time high, it typically skyrockets in price because everybody has a limit order right above the all-time high. Because if something goes above an all-time high, it'll probably keep skyrocketing. So if you buy it right when it hits that all-time high, then you can make profits and then you can sell once it goes back up. But all of this is like very not stuff we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We're just playing the long game and the safe game. But yeah, but just in situations like that, when you're like really quickly trying to switch stuff to blah, 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 it's really good to know your way around Binance for sure. Because if you have 2 minutes to sell something, it could be a $10,000 deal or a $5,000 deal.
Could be a $5,000 screw up by not knowing what you're doing.
Yeah. So generally, so there's certain things you can do. You can have the first step is to choose whether or not you want to have liquid cash, so you can buy stuff like liquid Bitcoin or liquid Tether, because on Binance you can buy pretty much everything with Bitcoin or Tether. So in situations where the market dips like this, it's really useful to just have Bitcoin or Tether sitting in your Binance account. So generally you want to have at least some like 5 to 10%, or probably 5% or less of your portfolio just in Bitcoin or in a stable coin. And then the rest of it, you have a certain percentage in alts based on how much risk you want to take, and a certain percentage in Bitcoin or Ethereum. And when you make profits on the altcoins, you roll some of those profits into Ethereum or into a stable coin or into any type of like blue chip, which is just any super popular cryptocurrency that is going to hold prices well, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Or even USD if you want to go even.
Yeah,
deeper.
or USD Tether. So another strategy, if you use Compound, you can. So the strategy that I am doing is I'm using leverage though. So I have a certain supply in Compound, and then I'm borrowing money that's not mine, and I'm trading altcoins with the money that I don't own. So pretty much all of my actual money, for the most part, sort of, is in this supply, but I haven't added it to it because gas is so high and it's too expensive. But you put your 40% of your portfolio or whatever in as a supply in some kind of lending protocol, and then you borrow off what you lend in to a USDC coin, and you trade in a riskier high return altcoins. And when you make profits in those risky high return altcoins, you add it back to your collateral. So then you are trading with money that you're basically creating wealth from nothing. You don't own any more money, but you can use money you borrow to make money off of, and then keep adding it back to your like safe haven stash. And you can do that with like Ethereum or Compound or stuff that fluctuates in price, but you can also just put in a stable coin in here, which would be more safe. So like in theory, I should have about $2,000 in USDC or Tether as collateral. And I should also add, because everything I have in there is just secured profits that the price of that cannot drop. So as you make more money, you just cycle stuff back into your collateral. And so you can do this with, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing it with leveraging right now, how I'm doing it, but you can just do it normally and just roll your profits back into Bitcoin, Ethereum, a stable coin. And then when the market dips like this, you can take advantage of market dips. And you always have like a liquid asset where if you find a new coin or it's a good time to buy, then you're able to buy it instead of selling. Because like a mistake I always make is I find a bunch of really good cryptocurrencies, I invest in all of them, and then I find some new cryptocurrencies, and then I'm like, this cryptocurrency's been boring, so I'll sell it, and then I use it to buy a new cryptocurrency I found, and then the one I sold just skyrockets in price. So that's why you generally don't want to sell to buy, or you only want to sell some to buy. But just a strategy that I would recommend is have most of your money in Bitcoin or Ethereum, and have some in a stable coin, and use the rest of it to invest in riskier projects, things that could like 50x or 100x within the next 6 months. As you make profit with those, roll it back out into these more legitimate assets that are less risky.
One thing, Garrett, I have a question about on the Binance side of things.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, you could kind of play safe, but also let your money ride in something, right? Like if you're up in Axis or whatever, like you could say sell at this point That way you don't have to get rid of it, right? If you don't want to, you keep it all in that coin. But if it keeps going up, you'll never have you can. Is that a strategy to use or no?
Or are you meaning just sell a certain percent of it as the price goes up?
Well, as the price goes up and you don't want to get rid of it because you think it is going to 10x, you could set a sale, right? Like how we were talking about a sell limit. And if it never hits that, it just keeps going up. Then you're basically like, okay, worst case, I'm going to make X.
Yeah. So
Going up,
if all of a sudden
not-
an Axis token, or if anything, triples in price,
Isn't that
if
like
Ethereum,
yeah,
it's not that's for like that's for derivatives, like longing and shorting as a stop. But essentially, you're not losing; it's a stop profit, basically. So like if Ethereum skyrocketed to $5,000 and you're like, oh shit, okay, I'll put a sell in order for $4,000,
okay,
just in case, or like $4,500.
But you think
and
it's going to
then-
keep going, and if it does, then you never sell.
So then you can
You could do
secure
that
your
with
profits.
Axie right now, you know, at a certain price. Garrett, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't a bunch of people setting those like that can contribute to something crashing larger? Like if a bunch of people had a stop at whatever 30%, a certain price, and then it starts tanking. All the people that added 10%, now theirs execute. All the people that has 20s, then theirs execute.
Yeah.
Doesn't that contribute to a larger crash?
Yeah. So the reason why, so people like something will start skyrocketing in price, and people will start FOMOing in and just keep buying it at higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher prices, and stuff will go up like 400%. And then what you want to do if you own that coin is you want to make a sell order that's like a little bit below what the price is at, and you want to constantly change it. So if you have, if we go back to Axis, say Axis was 50 cents. And all of a sudden it's now $1.87. You would put a sell order in at like $1.80, because I mean the price is going to fluctuate around quite a bit, and you just kind of want to decide like, all right, if all of a sudden it tanks by 15%, like I want to secure those profits. So you put a sell order in at $1.65, and you just sit there and you watch, and as it goes up, you keep you do $1.70. Once this gets to $2, then you keep just upping it, and then eventually it's going to crash and you'll catch it. You just want to catch it as close to the top as you can.
Gotcha.
But I highly doubt anyone, like you're lucky if you are at your computer at the time that something is exploding, and you can do this. But in the case of this happening, which it will all the time, that's how you can secure your profits. And generally you wouldn't want to sell like all of it. Like you could sell, if you initially put $2,000 in, then sell $2,000 and just like cover your initial buy-in, and then put that buy-in into Ethereum or Bitcoin, or put that buy-in into Tether and make 14 or make 17% interest off of it. So you secured your profits, you're reducing your risk, and you're gaining interest off the money you made. And that's how
17%.
interest is 17% for Tether right now on a compound. Any soul, any person in the world, rich, poor, 5 years old, 1 year old, 95 years old, you can make 17% interest off Tether. And then you can
part. Zero.
Yeah, that's the lending part. So then you can also, so as you add to your, this is, I don't know if you guys will do leveraging or not, but as you add to your supply, and as you make money with the money you don't have and the money you borrow, then you can add it to your supply, and you can borrow more and make more money off the money you don't have. So that's why it's called leveraging, is you're just increasing your risk to make more profits, basically. But does that answer that question? Kind of forget what the question was.
I think that was like general.
General knowledge there.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go back on the video. Did you just show how to do a stop loss or a sell? And
Yeah, so it's just the same. So yeah, so like that's an example of when you wouldn't want to do a market sell. So if the price just skyrocketed, you don't want to do a market sell because the price may keep going higher. So if you're at your computer, you could set the price at which you want it, because you can do a sell. It's at $1.84. Say the price is just ripping right now. I would type in $1.75 and click sell. And so that would put a sell order in for me. And you would see it on the screen, and you could see a candlestick of where the price is, and it'll put a line at where your limit order is. And so you would just wait and you'd wait. And if the price kept going up and up and up, then you would go, okay, I'll sell at 185. And you would wait and you'd wait. If the price kept going up, okay, I'll sell at 195. The price keeps going up. All of a sudden, price tanks down. Bop, you just sold it for $1.95. Price goes all the way back down to $1.
yep, and you took the profit that you wanted.
And you took the profit that you wanted.
So you would have to continually change though
Your sell order, and you'd have to cancel it as you wait, because you can't put another order in until you cancel. And there's a little X button on this little small pop-up box that'll show exactly where you're.
And if you were at a quarter there, Garrett, a quarter on that down thing, that would mean as it goes up, there's going to be less axes in the amount above because the price is going up, right?
Or say that again.
Is that a quarter of how much you have overall, or what you put in?
This right here.
Yeah.
This slider, it's just however much I have. So right now I have $588 in Axis in Binance right now. So that's all of what I have. 50% of what I have, 25% of what I have. So that's why this percentage slider is here, is because it just doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're trading in.
Yeah.
In
the slider
USDT
would change if you only wanted to take so much USD if it was going skyrocket.
Yeah. If you only wanted to sell 25% of your amount, you would just set this to 25 and set the limit order. If you're trying to take all profits, which generally I don't recommend, but if you're trying to take all profits, then you'd slide it all the way.
Then everything would be gone.
People generally say to take anywhere from usually like at least 60%, 40 to 60% if you're taking profits, just so you can cover your initial buy-in and make money no matter what. And if the price keeps going up more, great.
Yeah, it's
and you,
definitely a thing not to just sell off if it's on a bull run. Don't lose out.
Yeah, it's like at the table in Vegas, you're walking away with 20% more money, but then or the chip 60% of the chips you pocket, and you just only play with that 40%.
Yeah.
And then if you lose all that 40%, whatever. If you triple that 40%, great. Same idea. But does that make sense?
Get that point, Garrett. Like I was getting to the point, being in that range of up. And so that's why I was kind of asking the questions about like reconsolidating. Like I wanted to roll in my profit back into Ethereum or Bitcoin and then leave that initial investment amount in those alts. And then this little dive happened. So now I kind of want to watch it ride out and maybe get back to that amount and then do the consolidation. Is that
right? I mean, it's just whatever you do is just a risk. Like you're just paying trading fees. So you're paying, if it's on Uniswap, you would pay $200 to sell. If it was on Coinbase, it's probably going to glitch out and you probably won't be able to sell at all. or not in a situation where you do have you're saying in a situation where you're just trying to take profits while the price is up and like things are going crazy.
Yeah.
So say you wanted to sell 2 days ago and you sold and you rolled your profits in, and the price dropped, awesome. And then ideally you'd roll, when the price dropped, you'd roll your profits back out of Ethereum, because Ethereum only dropped by 5%. So still, if there's, or we'll just use Bitcoin, if Bitcoin only dropped by 1%. So in comparison to what it was, if you were to buy Polka Dot with Bitcoin, Polka Dot would be cheap because it dropped in price lower. So yeah, in an ideal situation, but like there's no bad news coming out about altcoins. Like there weren't really signs that stuff was crazy overbought. Like I wouldn't say, like if you were gonna sell Compound or Aave, you should have sold like a month and a half or a month ago, like when they were peaking.
When they were at like, yeah, they went
Once
up.
they peaked, like a
100%.
Compound's just been sitting at a price at $500 for a super long time. Aave's been sitting around $450 to $500 for a super long time.
But they were at
So-
like 150 month and a half, 2 months ago. So right
Yeah.
when that initial jump to that 500 occurred, you might have wanted to pull some there.
Yeah, but it's just like what were the odds that on Valentine's Day, while everyone's out on a date at roughly like 6 to 7 to 8 p.m., that whales just tank the market for about 30 minutes? The odds of that were 1 in a million.
So you're just we're holding through that, and then obviously you can pull profit.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely nothing at all. Like this is what should be happening in the market.
Right.
But it's when like things, yeah.
Go ahead. No, I'll ask after.
Okay. When things like a 10%, there is trading fees. So you have to like consider, in order, if you're rolling profits into something and then rebuying, you're paying a 3% trading fee. So
factor that in.
in the situation, if it was Binance Coin, would not be worth it at all. Chainlink, yeah, you'd make 4% or 6%. But in the situation where like the market isn't actually overbought, then like, yeah, you could take some profits, but it wasn't like it was that much money. Like you potentially lost out on $800 maybe, if you perfectly executed it or something like that. I mean, it's just, but like if the price of something was, you generally want to take profits when it's predictable. Like this is an unpredictable event. If, for example, like what I was about ready to get to, when something seems overbought, you want to take profits. So what does something that's overbought look like? If something goes up to a like 100 to 400% gains in a short period of time, and if something seems too good to be true, then it probably is. So for example, if a price goes up a lot over speculation, then it's probably going to come back down. So if someone like posts a tweet or some just random speculation thing that means nothing really, that causes a lot of people to buy and the price to go up, or like a YouTuber posts a video and like there's no actual more value in the coin, it's just more people are finding out about it because a YouTube video came out, then the price is going to go up a lot because more people figured out about the coin. And as that price goes up, then people are going to take profits on that coin. So for example, recent coin that got YouTube pumped is Cartesi by BitBoy Crypto, who's the biggest crypto YouTuber. He has like 500,000 subscribers. When was it? So yeah, obviously something caused this price to go up. So it was at 10 cents and he came out with a video, bam, it popped up to 30 cents. Went down a little bit, bam, popped up to 40 cents. So if you're holding it right here, you have $10,000 sitting in Cartesi, and all of a sudden now you have $30,000 in Cartesi. Are you just going to be like, it'll keep going up? Or are you going to be like, oh, I'm selling some of my profits? So at some point, because people are going, there's going to be a lot, like everything in this market is just humans. It's just humans making decisions. So at some point, he makes this video and within an hour, it gets up to 32 cents because you have all of these new people coming in and buying it. And then within that hour, everyone who owns the coins, they're like checking their Blockfolio or checking or trading. And they're at some point, enough people are going to realize, oh crap, like I just tripled my money. And then they come in and take profits from it. So that's like a way that you can take advantage of it. So like I was saying before, if you own a coin and it gets pumped by a bunch, then they, like all of these people are doing what I said. They're all putting a limit order in at this price, and they're all trying to just execute and take profits. So that is like, this is a situation when something pumps and is over, like this is an overbought situation. Nothing, like they don't have anything planning on coming out for over a month. Nothing useful came out for the coin, nothing, just a YouTube video came out. That's when something is overbought. If something triples in price and no value is added to it, clearly it's been overbought. So that would be a time to sell. If the amount that's locked in DeFi is just skyrocketing, and all of these tons and tons of articles and people are putting a bunch of money into DeFi and a bunch of money into Compound, and then the price kind of goes up reflecting that, then I would say that is like a healthy price increase, and it goes up over like 100% in a week. Then it's not just going to tank like Cartesi tanked in this situation, because there's a reason that it has value, and real people know there's a real reason it has value, and people aren't just holding a coin hoping that it gets YouTube pumped and then taking profits off from it.
So on that note, didn't that just happen to Decenter? Like when that dude came
yes.
about it, it went from a cent to 50 cents. So like I wanted to get in on that.
For 10 cents to 50 cents.
Right now. Oh
yeah. So what I was doing.
Hard.
So what I was also saying in here, so a good strategy that you can do for something like Decenter, what was it? 13 cents, gets YouTube pumped, goes up to 50 cents. And I was like watching that video within like 30 seconds of it coming out, and I was just sitting on Binance without any Bitcoin, just looking at the price, just watching it chunk.
So it really does happen that quick with them.
Yeah, there are people with hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in Binance just waiting for YouTubers to pump, and then they buy it. What?
How many minutes did that take? Like,
this took 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's so concerning.
Well, no, 30 minutes. 30 minutes to go to essentially,
their
like
market caps are so low, right? And so
yeah, because their market cap's hella low, and people throw in 100K Like it's a just guaranteed way to make money, basically, if you're in on it at the right time. And so ideally, and what you don't want to do is you don't want to buy and FOMO into a YouTube pump. That's not what you want to do. If you watch a YouTube video that came out recently and they say this coin is great, do not buy that for at least 3 days, maybe wait a week for the price to come back down and to consolidate. But
Which
like
it's been
what you,
doing, as we can see.
yeah, every
Like,
single
look at
time,
it, just heading right
every
back,
single time.
and then
Because
it'll get
why?
a stable price, right?
Yeah, why does it go back down? Because people are taking profits. Because you're stupid not to take profits if something triples in price for no reason.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah, there's no
I guess-
extra value.
I feel like you segued into this kind of topic of pulling profits because everyone's seen this growth. At least I don't know if that was in your head, but since we've all been going for a month or two, you know, like we've all recognized 20% growth, maybe 40 or 50 for some. So like it kind of is coming into play right now.
Yeah,
Because I was kind of wondering, like, do I let this sit forever or what do I do?
right. I mean,
But
it's
those are
just
bigger ones,
really
not
hard,
YouTube.
really hard to play the market. Like, I mean, taking profits is okay, but you'll take profits and then you missed out on $5,000.
But you
Like,
gotta be okay with that, right? And stick to your
yeah. So
strategy.
most of the time, you generally want to set, like everything, you just want to set yourself up for whatever happens, I will still profit. And like, no matter what the outcome is, if the price tanks, I still profit. If the price goes up a bunch, I still profit. And you want to just like minimize, it's just minimizing your risk. And you just, if you constantly kind of monitor your portfolio, you can minimize your risk while maximizing your profits. But yeah, it's really hard to time, like I'm gonna roll all of my profits into Ethereum right now and then wait and then rebuy everything back. Like it's very hard to do, especially if you have a day job or aren't just sitting at your desk all day, and can make like limit orders and stuff. So generally you just want to buy in like consolidation periods. So of like a fundamentally good coin like Axis or Freeway or like Dissenter, this is a great, amazing buy. I hope it stays at this price, and I will put a good amount of money in it. So like what a consolidation is basically just everyone just it sitting at a certain price for an extended period of time is a great time to get into something, because that means it's not overbought and overhyped. And it's just like when you want to get into it, because all you have to do is wait. Because like if you bought here, if it's a good product, all you have to do is wait. You're waiting 4 months, but bam, you 5x your money within a day. I mean, for really small coins like this. It's different when you're playing with bigger coins, which we're mostly playing with. But yeah, we haven't really had like a true pop of a coin that, or at least I sort of have, but not recently, of where a coin just like pops and I've taken profits out of it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When do you think, like, the whole someone hypes something up and it goes up fucking 300%? When do you think that will stop? When do you think like crypto is gonna be more stable? Like there's
Basically,
more shocks.
yeah, I mean, eventually it'll get to a point where it's more stable. When it's like when a lot more companies buy into it, because the link that I had last time that just showed like the treasuries that people, all the Bitcoin treasuries where people just buy Bitcoin and they just hold it. Like these people aren't selling, who have like billions and billions of dollars in Bitcoin. And once you just get enough of these people, then the price is just going to be really stable. And so that could be probably not this year, maybe 3 years from now. So the whole time up until that point, it will be really lucrative to buy pretty much any cryptocurrency, because it's pretty much guaranteed now that it used to just be speculation. Now it's generally guaranteed that cryptocurrencies are going to become a huge part of our economy within the next 3 to 6 months, and 3 years, everything will be completely integrated with cryptocurrency. So like, when will the price be more stable? Whenever a ton of people buy it, I guess. Because the more, like, the higher the market cap is, the reason why Bitcoin is so stable compared to these other currencies is because a ton of people have to sell it to change the price. And as the market, if the market cap of Bitcoin got up to like $5 trillion, it would be super, super stable.
Yeah.
Or $10 trillion, it would be
Oh
super,
wait, it's
super
almost
stable.
at its max.
almost
Bitcoin
like
is
what?
almost their trillion supply is almost out. Like by 2025, it's done. Right?
No, it's like 2125 or something, I think.
Gotcha.
There's the next halving is in like 2 years, 2024 or something, which is when miners will get half of the amount of Bitcoin rewarded to them per block they generate. And then at every like certain amount of years, every like 6 to 8, or no, like 4 to 6 years, the miners' rewards get halved, and then it'll eventually go to 0 in like early 2100s, something like that. But the idea is to just buy cryptocurrency until the price stabilizes, because once the price stabilizes, you won't really be able to make profits from it anymore. So like how all you had to do if you were a boomer is you would just buy a home, and you could buy a home for like $50,000 to $90,000 back in the 60s. And if you just held your house, it appreciated in value. It would be worth like $500, $600, $700, $800, $900,000 by the time like 30 years later. So people are saying now that like all you need to do is just buy Bitcoin, and you'll have a huge retirement by the time you're 50 years old. And you can just make money through the whole entire time until the price stabilizes. But there'll always be like new projects that come up and new technology that gets built and blah, 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 just like DeFi and stuff. So I pretty much went over the whole first part of it, which took about 45 minutes. So that's kind of how you take profits, how you use Binance, how to avoid YouTube pumps, how to take advantage of YouTube pumps. And like, if you're sitting at your computer and you happen to come across someone who does a YouTube pump, and you check the price of the token, like you see the video, if you subscribe and put the notification bell on for videos, then you'll get instantly notified when a video comes out. And if they post some video like so-and-so coin, buy it, and then you look up the cryptocurrency, and the cryptocurrency has only gone up like 10% in price, then you can just go and immediately buy it, do a market buy on Binance. And then you can just sit there and you can just watch the price tick up, tick up, tick up, and you just put a limit order in below it and below it. And then once it kind of reaches a peak and pops down, you'll sell it at that price. And then you wait 3 days, and then you rebuy it at the lower price.
So that's some crypto day trading essentially, or like you
Yes.
got to be like on your phone or on the internet.
Yes.
Really.
So for what we're doing, not really.
Might not do that, but
a
would
thing.
be obviously. Got it.
But people do that all the time, and it's very profitable, for sure. So then there's the whole scene of cryptocurrency right now, and like what is going to be hot and what is in the next like month or two where the attention is going to be on is this whole next part. If you guys are still down to do that, we can do that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take super long. I'm going to grab more water, but I'll be back.
All right, pause. $2.59, Dave.
Did you see that?
$2.59.
So what actually got sent was $2.59 because tax took.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to, whatever I can pump into my free.
Did you get it yet?
I don't know what I had before,
15
so
minutes?
that's why it's hard to know.
It says sent. So
I'll
you
check.
probably have it.
So what was it? It was
I sent 267, but there was tax, so it sent. The actual number was 259. I don't really give a fuck because if we think this is going double, then who gives a fuck? So I don't care. Send me whenever, or whenever you get it. Obviously, I don't care when you send me money.
Okay. We ready for this next part?
yes.
Yeah.
So the whole ecosystem right now is pretty much just around DeFi. Like that's kind of what's hot, besides like altcoins, random altcoins that are getting pumped by YouTubers. DeFi is actually what's seen the most growth in the past like year. So the only things that have decentralized finance is things with smart contracts, because that's how Compound and stuff like Compound works. That's how Uniswap works, is through smart contracts. So in order to make this kind of technology, it needs to be a cryptocurrency that has smart contract technology built into it. So right now, all of the big DeFi systems are built on Ethereum. So that's Compound, Aave, Uniswap, Avalanche, et cetera, Yearn Finance. It's all built on Ethereum. And it's just kind of been the legacy, like DeFi was created in Ethereum, and all of the amount of money that's locked in DeFi compared. So DeFi Pulse, there's $32 billion that's locked in DeFi in Ethereum, or $38 billion that's locked in DeFi in Ethereum, and it's been just chunking up. It's like tripled since 3 months ago. So most of the DeFi that's happening is going on. All of these are things that are built on Ethereum, and there's nothing else. So all of these things are built on Ethereum, and a ton of people are starting to use DeFi, and it's starting to get super popular. And this is causing gas fees to go super high because a lot of people are trying to send transactions. Miners have to validate it. People bid up their price super high because it's huge, just whales lending and borrowing and making big trades, which is causing the gas fees to go up super high. And so the whales love Ethereum for decentralized finance because it's safe and secure and it feels like home. And it's probably going to be like, the gas fees are probably going to be fixed soon by EIP 1559. So there's no point in like pulling your $1 million that you're getting 17% interest on out of Compound when like, and using some like new random speculative ecosystem. So all of the whales are just keeping pretty much all of their money in Ethereum right now. But there are a lot of contenders that are coming out. The most popular one was Binance Chain, which is just, so Binance made a coin that like if you have it on Binance, you get cheaper trading fees. there's this whole ecosystem that's literally just a carbon copy of all of the stuff that's built on Ethereum. That is, it's just mimicking all of the DeFi that's on Ethereum, but the gas fees are super cheap. But there's not a ton of stuff that's built on Binance. So on like Uniswap, Uniswap is meant for buying and selling stuff Ethereum and things that are built on top of Ethereum. So that's why Uniswap is popular. So there's swap protocols in Binance that you can buy and sell Binance tokens, but you can't buy and sell Ethereum tokens. But people are starting to use Binance because it has the same lending protocols, the same interest rates or better as Ethereum, but there's minimal fees on the Binance chain. But it's kind of a confusing ecosystem. It's a bit clunky, stuff's not quite up and running yet. But if Ethereum gas fees stay super high for a long time, then people will start to flock away from Ethereum and into other smart contract cryptocurrencies. The biggest one right now, I would say, that is kind of sitting to explode is the Polka Dot ecosystem, which is just another smart contract that was someone who left Ethereum, built Polka Dot, and it's meant to kind of like work with Polka Dot together. So there's all of these parachain projects that basically there's only, so on Ethereum, you have an unlimited amount of people can build a project on Ethereum and use Ethereum to use Ethereum miners to validate the transactions they have. So there's all of these like some of them are just straight duplicates of each other. All of these are using Ethereum gas. And what Polka Dot decided to do is say, no, we don't want duplicate projects, small people trying to do the same thing as a big guy. We just want to make these things called parachains and only give out a certain amount of them to the best projects who have the best backing and the most funding. So then we can keep everything super efficient. So there's only one Uniswap. There's not Aave and Compound. There's just Aave. And so it just keeps everything more efficient and like secure. So, but there hasn't been parachain bidding that has come out yet. That's and then this next month or two is when, because the Polka Dot is ready for DeFi. It's just waiting on all of these projects to release. And so there's a ton of money that can be made in this if you get on like the pre-sales of these coins. So I recently have been looking at a bunch of the coins. So Fala Network is one that I've had on here that's built on, I kind of had a mini thing on Polka Dot. Yeah, so Reef is just a decentralized exchange. It's just Uniswap, but on Polka Dot. Paid is just this like business agreement smart contract thing that's built on Polka Dot. There's similar stuff on Ethereum, but you're basically just trying to invest in something that you think is going to get a parachain, because if it gets a parachain, it's going to be huge in the future. But a lot of these projects aren't built yet or in the process of being built. So you can do, you can sign up for pre-sales of tokens. And if you get in on a token pre-sale and actually get chosen to buy it, it's not uncommon to make 1,000 times profits. So there's this certain, I'll basically update this doc and like kind of show you guys how you can get on or try and get on some of these products that are built on Polka Dot early, and you can make a ridiculous amount of money. There's this new one that's coming out called Akala that they have a pre-sale soon that you can sign up for right now. That it's basically like, it's like if you took Compound, you took Aave, you took Uniswap, and you took a bunch of other stuff that's built on Ethereum, and you just bundled it up into one network. that's what a Kala is. So it's just like a DeFi everything cryptocurrency. And it has a super, super high chance of getting a parachain. And the fees will be way, way, way lower than they are on Ethereum. It's pretty much better than everything that's built on Ethereum, and the fees are going to be 100th of what they are on Ethereum. So there's a lot of, and there's other cryptocurrencies that you can invest in Polka Dot parachains right now as well that should do pretty well if they get, if like Reef got a parachain or Fala gets a parachain, they would do super well, and you can buy them for a discount right now because the market kind of dipped a little bit.
Are they like gonna get, like, how do you know which ones are likely to grab a parachain? Just from your research and
yeah, I mean,
people's?
they're going to pick stuff that's like, they're not really going to do duplicates of things. So like there's probably going to be one privacy coin parachain, there's going to be one lending protocol parachain, there's going to be one swap parachain. Then they might do one that kind of bundles everything together. So you're just kind of invest in a couple and hope one of the ones you invest in gets a parachain. And as long as one of the ones you invest in gets a parachain, it will do very, very well over the next couple of years.
When are they thinking of rolling those?
They're doing, I think so they auction off parachains. So whatever cryptocurrency has the most backing and the most money are the ones who get to buy parachains.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
It is pretty cool. So it's just like trying to be a more simplified, safer, cheaper version of Ethereum that also works with Ethereum. So everything, you can only buy ERC20 tokens on the stuff that is built on Ethereum because ERC20 tokens are just offshoots of Ethereum. But on Polka Dot, you can do Polka Dot cryptocurrencies and it integrates with Ethereum. So you can also do Ethereum cryptocurrencies. So it's possible that Polka Dot is going to be the next decentralized finance world that everyone ends up using. And if that's the case, if that is true, you can make 1,000 times money on everything you put in. So
that's based on Polka Dot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would they'd be competing with each other, Ethereum and Polka Dot, to provide DeFi.
So they wouldn't be competing with each other because Polka Dot integrate it. It's not a competitor to Ethereum. It's basically
contender
working with Ethereum. Like,
is it kind of like ADA or no?
No, so ADA is like a direct, like trying to take over Ethereum's spot. ADA, I don't think really integrates itself with Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean that people aren't going to use Cardano, and that doesn't mean that the price of Cardano is not going to go up a ton. And like Cardano could be way better than both Polka Dot and Ethereum.
Yeah.
But all the money is on Ethereum right now. And the reason why like it's a good time to buy Cardano is because like Polka Dot already released, you can't build anything on Cardano right now because the mainnet hasn't launched yet. You can build stuff on Polka Dot, it's just not built yet. You can build stuff on Binance, everything's already up and running, but it's like the very, very beginnings of it. So we like kind of missed the boat on that. But the Binance coin is still a super, super good buy.
Yeah.
Is there any idea when the news is going to come out for Cardano? Because I thought it was supposed to be last week.
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be in the so Charles Hodgkinson is the guy who made Cardano, who's super intelligent.
And he's
he has a
originally
YouTube channel.
He's originally used to be part of the Ethereum team.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I read.
Pretty much all of
I
these
love that.
people who are making stuff that contends with Ethereum is people who used to work on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Like the creator of Polka Dot was the co-founder of Ethereum.
Yeah.
But
But do you still no clue when that news is coming out?
he just said sometime in February there's going to be big news for Cardano. And then in March, the Guggen mainnet is launching. So why the price has gone up recently is it's just anticipation and speculation for the news coming out and the Guggen mainnet launch when it actually comes out.
Yeah. I'm still there. I'm there with ADA.
So all the new money, so like you got ADA, sweet, we're good there. Now, if you want to, like, it's
Polka
looking
Dot.
towards the Polka Dot ecosystems, is kind of the new, possibly the new place where all the money is going to be gone. Is the moral of the story.
So just
And I'll have
buying
it.
Polka Dot is buying Polka Dot, or you have to buy a specific one that will chain with Polka Dot? Is that what you were explaining?
So I mean, Polka Dot will go up in price with like the value of its ecosystem, just like how Ethereum goes up in price with the value of the ecosystem. But if you want to make really, really good returns, then you buy the projects that are built with inside Polka Dot that are super small.
Yeah. There was one, because Rob was big on Polka Dot too. And he said there's one company that you can buy with that invests in like the new projects. So like, you know, you're not investing in the project, but you're kind of hedging your bet on a company that does all the new projects or something like that.
I have not heard of that. I would be interested in that.
It was called, I think, POLS, Polls.
Oh, Polka Starter? Yeah. I have looked in this and I have looked into buying this, but isn't this just oh yeah, enables projects to raise capital on decentralized. Oh yeah. So it's like a what do you call those?
Venture
it's
capital.
like a GoFundMe, but yeah, like a GoFundMe
like
smart contract thing. Where when I think it's set to like, they're trying to raise $10 million and everybody will put money in. And if it gets to $10 million, then the company keeps the money. If it only gets to $8 million, then all of it's just refunded back into the people who initially invested into it.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's useful because a lot of stuff is starting to, I mean, it's just skyrocketed. I'm not sure exactly what the utility of the coin is, but it's just gone up because a lot of these new projects are starting to be built on Polka Dot. So the current situation right now is essentially, so there's this thing called Kusama, which is so if you want to build something on Polka Dot, you start building it on Kusama, and then Kusama is like a test net. So Polka Dot's the main net and Kusama is the test net. So when you want to make sure there's no bugs in your code and you want to make sure people don't lose their money and you want to test out new features, you build it all on Kusama. And then once it's done, you port it over to Polka Dot. So Kusama has been also having some pretty nice gains. It was like $60 a month ago or something like that. And the reason why Kusama has value is because you need Kusama to buy Kusama to buy all the new products that are getting created on Kusama. And then once that product gets finished being built on Kusama, it gets ported to Polka Dot. So you need Kusama to buy these projects that are being built on Kusama. And then when the projects get ported to Polka Dot, the price will skyrocket a lot. So Kusama is just a test net for the Polka Dot ecosystem. Okay. So I'll have I'll put a bunch of cryptocurrencies in here that will be good to buy. I'll kind of explain how the whole testnet deal thing works. And there's a Kala network. You can sign up for the pre-sale for it. But if you are interested, I would buy some Kusama. It would be a good idea to buy some Kusama tokens right now at hopefully a discounted price. So when the time comes around to use Kusama to buy into these small projects, then you have Kusama. And the price of Kusama could go up to 500 bucks. And if you buy it now, then you could buy 4 times more of that small little project that could go up by 100 or 200 or 300 times. But yeah, that's the whole Polka Dot ecosystem.
On a high level, you already explained it, but I just want to write this down. How does, and let's go high level, how does, say Bitcoin, how does it go up? Why does the price of Bitcoin go up? Like, what has to happen for, you know what I'm saying? Like, do the ratio of people buying versus what?
Yeah, it's just supply and demand. It's just classic supply and demand.
Okay, so what has to go up?
So normally on Binance, you have 100 people buying or 100 people constantly at one time. Some people are leaving, coming in, buying and selling at one time. All of a sudden, Elon Musk comes out that he bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There's the same amount of people selling. There's 100 people selling, 100 people buying on each side. All of a sudden, good news comes out. 5,000 people come in and they now want to buy Bitcoin on Binance. So you have 100 people selling and you have 5,100 people buying. So that makes the price go up because there's not enough people to sell. And then once all of those people, those 100 people don't want to sell or can't sell, then people see on their phone, oh, the price went up. So then more people come in and they'll start selling for whatever price all of these massive people that are coming in are trying to buy it for. And if the price went up 20% in the past 5 minutes, they don't care because Elon Musk just bought Bitcoin.
Okay, so let's take it something like Freeway. So Nolan bought 2,500 Freeway. I just want to know, like, him buying 2,500 Freeway, a really small market, does that affect the price?
Yes, marginally. By like, it'll increase the price by like 0.0. It might go up by like a cent, or
it did.
Or not a cent because it's really, really small.
Yeah. But it went up.
Like it'll go up by 0.00001 or something like that. So every time you buy, you're increasing the price. Every time you sell, you're decreasing the price. And however many people, if a lot of people want to buy, the price goes up. If a lot of people want to sell, the price goes down. It's just on the individual level, people wanting to buy and sell, all run by emotions, all run by the news that comes out, all run by supply and demand. Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So with all these platforms that we have, they don't all do it, or they don't all have the capability, or maybe they do. I guess that would be my question of like whatever we called that earlier, putting in a sell limit or whatever on Binance. Like, let's say Exodus or crypto.com. Should we, because of that, should we move our coin into there even with the fee, just because that sell limit is nice to take some profits, but if it keeps going up, you're not selling out too early?
Yeah, so anything you have, so like in crypto.com, for example, I just have big blue chip cryptocurrencies. I just have Polka Dot in there. I have Chainlink in there. I have stuff that I like know isn't going to fluctuate in value massively, and things that are like growth, because I don't care about doing limit orders on it. But stuff that I have in Binance, I do care about selling it quickly. So anything that you know you're gonna sell soon, then put it on. If you can trade it, then put it on Binance.
Well, like
So
with
yes.
ADA,
What about
like,
Yes, you do not want your ADA sitting in a wallet. You want your ADA sitting in Binance.
okay, so ADA in both of my ADA is in Exodus and crypto.com. So send that to Binance.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like in crypto.com is fine as long as you can sell it instantly, unless you have like a ton of money. If you're going to sell it, if you know you're not going to sell it within a month or two, then keep it in a wallet or keep it somewhere safe. But if you know that like any day you could be selling,
Okay.
then
So
you want
once
to
we're
keep it
into
in
the
exchange.
profits, say we're at like Cardone or ADA goes to $1.50 and you're kind of contemplating selling it, and now you want to start like putting in some sell orders at $1.40 and taking profit, and it should be in an exchange.
Yeah. And that's why you'll see news of like whales take Bitcoin off exchanges or whales bring Bitcoin on exchanges. If whales bring
Got it.
Bitcoin on exchanges, that means there's going to be a lot of volatility because these huge players are ready to buy and sell more. If they remove all of their cryptocurrency off the exchange, that means that's a good sign for the price going up, and meaning all the whales that have billions of dollars are like, we're keeping this safe for a while because we have no reason to sell.
Can
Okay.
you
So
dumb
that's-
that down?
Can you what?
Explain that one more time. So like, to Nolan's point, ADA goes up fucking 300%, and all of a sudden an average guy wants to sell it. Can you explain what you just said one more time? I think I
Just
missed
as
your
an
point.
average guy.
Yeah.
So as an average guy, if you are trying to sell, you just move it onto an exchange, just like the whales are doing it.
But why does it matter what they do? Explain that part.
Why does it matter what the whales do?
Yeah.
Because it just means
They control
so
huge.
if you have if you own half of the supply of Bitcoin, if you own $400 billion in Bitcoin, and you take that Bitcoin and you put it in a cold storage, you lock it up so it takes like 3 days of like verifying and in order to pull all of that Bitcoin back out. You're like long term, you own half of all Bitcoin. You have no plans of selling it maybe years down the line. You're taking half of all of the supply of Bitcoin and you're taking it out of circulation. So no one can buy any of the Bitcoin that you own because you have it stored in a place where no one has the ability to buy it. So that would be a bullish sign. That would mean the market should go up because you're reducing this, you're having the supply of Bitcoin. And if the demand stays the same, then the price should reflect that and the price should go up. So that's what happened like a month ago, is that's why the price has gone up from 30,000 to 46,000, is because all of the big hedge funds and stuff like that accumulated, all of these Bitcoin treasury people had pretty much accumulated around the like 25 to 30,000 range, and they just took it all through into cold storage. And then there's only a certain percent of Bitcoin at any given time that is allowed to be traded and sold.
Yeah, Dave, like simple terms, a guy brings a couple $1,000,000 and puts it in the exchange, you know he's probably ready to mess with it. And if
And then,
a guy with that much money messes with it, he's gonna mess with the price.
So if that whale who owns half of all Bitcoin brought that Bitcoin onto the exchange, that means he's probably trying to sell it. And if the guy who owns half of the supply is trying to sell Bitcoin, what's the price going to do? Go down.
Massive. Depending on how much
Okay.
you, but you assume a lot.
Yeah, unless the
Okay,
Like what
listen to
happened
this,
today?
listen to this.
happened today. They all
Here,
The
listen to this idea. Listen to this idea. Listen to this. So, right now we have, as a team, we have 10,000, then 10K in freeway.
Sure.
Say no one comes in and puts 10K in freeway. Freeway fucking jumps up all of a sudden because the market cap's super low. It goes up 20%. We sell.
Yeah.
Wait for it to go down. As a team, we buy again. Just never any profit.
That's what they do.
That is what they do. We just don't have enough money to
We
manipulate.
don't have
the
enough
market.
money yet.
But something like freeway, do we not?
With freeway, like,
We
so the
still
trading, the
need
daily trading volume of freeway is like $2 million.
2 mil, but that's double the last few days.
So we would need to probably have
$1 million.
If we had $100,000, we could maybe manipulate this market a little bit.
Nolan,
But
sell price tomorrow.
if we sold it a bunch, what's been happening is anytime anyone sold, like, people will just come in and buy. And it's risky because if you sell and you cause a sell wall and the price goes to 80 here, and then people see that, and then someone comes in and they just drop a mil at 80 cents,
We're
then
fucked.
oh shit, you just lost all your freeway.
It doubles and you got to buy in at the double price.
And we
So
barely profit off our little.
So what they do is you get a ton of people with $5 million, and you sit and you have people just sell 10K, wait 5 minutes, sell 10K, wait 5 minutes, sell 10K, wait 5 minutes, sell 10K, and you just keep doing that. And you just try and scare people. You're attempting to just scare people to sell their coin, because if they don't sell their coin, then if they don't sell their coin, then you're just buying and selling from yourself, essentially. So what you're trying to do is scare other people to drop the price. So that's exactly
price go low, you swoop in and buy.
What happened today.
Literally happened today.
And is the only way now that they're able to buy at low prices, because normally they would just like pay off a news source to like release false news, and then it would scare people to sell. And in that situation, so you release false news and then you wait an hour and then you start dropping the price. And all you just have to pay a couple news companies $10,000, and they'll post some story for you. You wait an hour and then you start dropping. So then you get the benefit of the prices going down, and there's this bad news circulating, even though it's false, it's bad news, which then scares people to sell. Then you try and buy the bottoms.
Like, we just bought more today. We just bought more Axie in a weird, like, price was dropping hard, but there was no news for that drop. So we're like, what Garrett's saying, like, oh, it's getting manipulated today. Like, a bunch of shit was overbought, a bunch of whales dumped, people sold. We bought this dip because we believe it's going to go back. And like, we believe in the value of the product, not necessarily this inflated value that we see.
Long run.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I got hosed on the dip today.
We love a dip today.
I hate a dip.
Hosed on. What did you buy Cardano at?
He bought
Earlier today I bought
at 99 cents.
No, earlier today I bought Axies at $1,500 worth at $227.
Oh, that's literally like, it's unfortunate. There's nothing you can do about it, but you're not going to lose that money.
No, I know it'll come back.
Yeah.
I just wish.
We bought it at 227.
Right.
And we're at 177. Oof.
It's unfortunate.
It's a
But
short.
that's what, like $300? Like, that's nothing.
Right.
Oh, it's
Crypto terms.
got more coin if I bought it now.
Yeah, it would have been nice. But yeah, there's no way to know that whales are just gonna market manipulate.
We're not day trade, like, you're not day trading this Axie. Like, we want to it's going to be an explosive.
So how you really get burned is you're like longing Bitcoin or like longing Ethereum or something, and you're on like 10 times leverage, and like the price is going up like it should be, and then all of a sudden whale manipulators come in and just liquidate you, and you just lose. You have $10,000 on a 10 times long, and you just bam, within 5 minutes you lose $100,000. That's when it sucks, and there's nothing you can do about it because people are just manipulating the market.
Yeah. Are you doing shorts and all
That's
that?
like your situation, right?
No. That is like shorting
long
and
and
longing.
short.
I am not shorting and longing. I'm just using leverage in like a
Right.
much safer way.
Right.
So they are 10xing
We're
their
not-
in their
we're-
leverage. I am only 0.75% leveraging.
Because if you long it, the reason you get screwed is you have to pay, what is it, insurance or something on the amount every X amount of time. And if it's
Yeah.
the opposite way as your position, you have to be paying more and more of that insurance.
Uh-huh.
Insurance, the word?
Sort of. I think there's just like a fee you have to pay a certain amount of money to long it at a certain price or whatever, depending on.
Short, because like the whole hedge fund was just plummeting with the dude, like the autistic dude, and they were all like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's just like, "Just wait, like it's gonna
Right.
go." But he's paying that.
But you had to pay the
Is that guy
premium
autistic in
for
the movie?
Garrett thought so. Isn't he supposed to
sort
be?
of. I mean, he's just a really intelligent guy who
Has no social
who-
skills.
Yeah, although he came out and he said he thinks Bitcoin is an absolute shit investment and that like it's trash. But I'm pretty sure someone paid him off to say it or something. Like he was upset. No, he was just upset that Tesla bought Bitcoin.
Is he
And it was
still
like-
is he still a trader like of the big funds? This guy?
I don't know. I don't think
I don't-
so. I don't know. He's just pretty. I guess he's not that old. He's only like
I
60
think
or
he's
something.
worth a couple $100 million after that. We looked at him.
Oh,
He's
and the-
definitely got some cash.
Just to ease your mind, like on the money part, like the amount of days I've seen this screen like plus 15% every single coin, and this is one day where I see
Yeah.
one day
Yeah.
seen it plus 15 every day for like since we've started this thing.
If you,
I mean,
Right. it just sucks. It's
I
unfortunate.
felt a tiny bit of worry when everything was down.
In the
20.
grand scheme of things,
It's
like
hard
I
to-
was worried for about 2 minutes, and then I saw people buying back like crazy, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah. Listen,
it's
Dom.
nothing.
If there's anyone that's learned our lesson, it's our family on the old hold game.
Right.
on your cryptos.
Yes.
You're not losing 100% of what you're putting in.
Yeah. This is so much less risky than the things we were getting into.
I saw something today where if you put $1,000 in Bitcoin 10 years ago, you would have $663 million.
If you put a grand in,
Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
forget.
without a doubt. Back then it was like nothing.
It was back in like 2011. I can't remember what it was.
What's the price at in 2011?
In 2011, it doesn't have the data on here. It came out in 2008.
100x, yeah, that's in between 100 and 1,000xing.
It was like cents when it first came. Yeah, they only have data into 2015.
Does that have the price there at 2015?
$143. And it was just at that for like ever.
143
Ever.
bucks, and now it's 40 G's.
Yeah.
50 G's.
And we're
Yep.
buying at 40 Gs. That's
And
the,
people are buying.
we're buying.
And it wouldn't be surprising if it went to a couple hundred K this year. Like that's the expected price.
That just makes me sick.
But
It's pretty cool.
yeah. Moral of the story.
That you don't have. Have you told Garrett your little? Don't you have?
Oh yeah.
wins
We
or what's
would have,
your little-
Yeah, we'd have 8 Bitcoin right now.
Right, that's what I.
We used to call Nolan an absolute idiot.
And they were all thinking.
What's up with that
Yes, but-
Bitcoin? You sold it or what?
No, gone. Well, some of it, Ponzi scheme, like they're gonna go after it. Like people have gotten money back before in this circumstances. And then another one is like caught up because it wasn't legal in the US, like trading mines or pools and shit like that. Pretty much gone. Let's just call it that, dumb.
Well, the fortunate thing about this is that it's you own your Bitcoin in your own wallet or your cryptocurrency in your own wallet. So, you know, you can't lose it. The price could go down by 50% for 3 months, but it's coming back up.
Hey, Garrett, how's fucking Hawaii?
Pretty chill. Just been
Let's go get
going
some
on
fun.
hikes and stuff.
Let's go get some women.
And go what?
Go get some women.
Dude, we got to spend our time on crypto.
I
Crypto,
mean,
bro.
you gotta become a millionaire first. You know?
Garrett, you said it's so money. Like, dude, Dick, come on, we're gonna be getting way better women.
Yeah, when you said that
I
earlier.
love that. I was like, so true, but I love it.
It's pretty true.
More or less on these, I feel like you just got to have them ready for the swap,
Yeah.
like to take
I mean,
profits.
Well, more or less, not really on these holds. Like we're not holding shit that's
Yeah.
day trade shit. Like Garrett's given us stuff like product. Like we believe in this video game. Like we believe in this app.
Like Axis and Freeway token,
Oh my
you're
God.
not looking to sell that for at least
Uniswap,
6 months to a year.
Compound,
Yeah.
80.
Uniswap,
goes to
Compound,
42.
Aave.
But what I'm saying is you don't even think we should take any profit at this point if it doubles?
I mean, that's up to, I was
88.
saying like anytime
88.
you see 100% to 400% gain is when you should think about taking profits.
Which would only be like, okay, ADA would be $2, right?
Yeah.
$2-3.
Which is,
$1 for me.
it totally, like, I also need to get into, like, do a whole nother Zoom call on like how to value a cryptocurrency. And I mean, if it like,
I love that. I love
like,
that.
what's the market cap at? Like, what are you comparing it to? What's the supply? What's the white
That's what
paper
I'm-
say?
yeah.
You explained it a little bit, Garrett. You explained it a little bit.
I'm in on
Yeah,
that.
but I can do
Just
like
explain it
a
a little
whole
bit.
hour-long deal on, like, because say Cardano, I mean, yeah, like Cardano could get up to the value of Ethereum. So, and like until, because if you hold it and you just wait for all the tech to come out and for all the users to come, and like the price will just keep going up. And then when it gets to the point where it's like, all right, nothing else is really going to come out for this, like everything is already played out. The amount of users that are using it are already using it. Nothing significant is happening anytime in the future. That's when you sell. Like that's when you would sell Axis. Where like,
Wait, Garrett, just to be clear, if Freeway tomorrow went to 3x, you're not going to sell Freeway
no,
because nothing has happened yet.
because the reason why I wouldn't sell
Because
Freeway,
nothing's
yeah,
happened.
because nothing has happened and because the market cap is so small, so
Right.
small.
We stake in Freeway. You forget about Freeway.
My
Forget about
Freeway is staked, so I can't sell Freeway.
That's why,
anyway.
Dave, you're telling me these price up and downs, and I'm like, dude, just stop. Like, I don't want to think about Freeway right now. Like,
I like
Freeway,
Freeway to Freeway to $1, and then
you're just riding up this. So I don't. What's a?
Oh, I'm forgetting about
I don't
Freeway,
know.
but Garrett, I'm on the 88 train and I have like a hefty amount of my portion in that.
Yeah.
just
So you're
think about
not.
what he said.
I
Like,
will
they're
let you know
not-
when you want to sell your ADA. You want to sell your, so the Guggen mainnet, there's some good news coming out for ADA this month. The Guggen mainnet's coming out next month. Once the Guggen mainnet launches, the price is going to be far higher than it is right now. Guaranteed. There's no doubt about that. And then once I kind of look and I kind of see what's being built on it. Is it better than Ethereum? Is it faster than Ethereum? Are users actually using it? Are people coming in? Then that's when I'd kind of just, you'd kind of be like, what is Polka Dot doing right now? What is Ethereum gas doing right now? Then that's when you kind of decide like, I made 4x on this, I'll put it back into Ethereum. Or
Right.
turn it into USDT and make 14%, 17% interest off it. So
See, this
for
is
them,
why I'm into all three, because one of
Yeah.
them is gonna fucking boom.
so as I have in like the crypto doc, I just literally list like the 4 big boys of Polkadot, ADA. I mean, Cosmos is also a super good buy. It's also in this same kind of deal, but like Ethereum, Binance Coin, Polkadot, Cardano, Bitcoin, like they're all going up. The reason why they're at the top is because they are the best, and people use all of anything in the top 10 is just massively, besides Bitcoin Cash. I don't know what the fuck Bitcoin's Cash is doing, but all of these coins are crazy used coins. And any money you put in here, if you put any money in this, basically at any point in time ever, you made money on any of these coins.
Look at Litecoin.
Which I don't even know why Litecoin, like it's just how cryptocurrency works. Like you're not buying a stock. You're not buying something that has quarterly reports that could go out of business, that has a bunch of loans, that like they're just like 50 developer dudes who have made millions and millions of dollars working really hard on this code, and it's just new money coming in until all of these coins become fully integrated into our system. It's just all new money coming in, US dollars just getting pumped into these. So the price just, as every single one of these in the top 10, the price just keeps going up. And besides this bull run, if you take this whole bull run out, the price just goes up. And then over time, it just keeps going up. But the idea is like, how do you make more money than just buying $1,000 of all of these? If you bought $1,000 of the top 10, you will be able to retire on that when you're 40 years old, probably.
Well, how do you make more is the question.
We want to retire in like 5 years.
So the idea is to get in on, like, if you were to get in on Ethereum early, if you were to get in on like what's something like Binance Coin, that's like a pretty recent thing. I don't know why I went to Cardano. Binance Coin is a pretty recent thing that like came out in the last, I don't know when it was released, not that long ago, 2017. If you just bought it at $2, you'd make a lot of money. If you just bought like all of these polka dot things that like 5 years from now
are gonna be stupid.
If it actually gets used, 100, 200 times the money easily. So for cryptocurrency, it's literally just like find things that are fundamentally good and that will get used or have a high likelihood to get used, and you will make money. And it's
I like
super.
to believe in it. I like to be like, I like the idea of it. I'm not gonna buy something I don't like actually personally think it's a really cool idea.
And as long as you like personally want to use like the Brave browser, I use the Brave browser and I love the Brave browser, and it has a token BAT that I don't, wherever it is, like people are going to use this. I love using this product. It's going to keep going.
Filecoin is going to stick around for sure.
Yes, Filecoin will stick around.
Upload and download shit 24/7.
Filecoin sticking around. The graph is going to be great. Like DeFi stuff that's useful. All of this stuff. It's like investing in Apple. Like Apple went up a ton by 2005. But if you put a ton of money in Apple in 2005, how much money would you have right now? A lot. If you have invested in Google in 2005, all of these companies that like already popped off, but now they just continually to grow infinitely. You're making a bunch of money.
Example right there of where the space is at, because we're not like the early bird. But we still are in the sense of if you invested in those in 2005, look at where they're at now. That's a good.
I mean, like I would say probably Bitcoin, you're not like an early bird, but you're still early. Right. And then like Polka starter or like Polka Dot stuff, like you are getting your foot in the door the day the company comes out.
John, Decenter, early bird. We're early bird.
Yes, that is an early bird.
Yeah, Decenter's an early bird. I want to, maybe before I put money into that one, I want to talk a little bit about it, because after reading like all the way through the white paper, like it's crazy. In like Rogi made one point about how like this Freeway and Axie, like, you know, video game that's super playable, and then Freeway is this app we think is going to be downloaded by a lot of people. I guess Decenter, we're hoping that a ton of people use their browser extension or they use their browser. That's
yeah. You're just hoping people use like how I use Brave. You're just hoping that they'll have decent marketing and people will use their browser. And like based on what they're doing, I am going to for sure use their browser if they do what they say they're doing.
The idea of Decenter is fucking so cool.
It's kind of weird though.
Dom, is Decenter the one where they're not their data?
Dom, why is it weird? I wasn't.
A couple parts of the white paper. I guess I'll maybe find the parts that made me feel weird, but a couple parts about having they had like a reserve deal that they would kick out when they feel like it needs stimulation or something. And I don't know, that part kind of sounded a little weird to me. Like it's not it's not a decentralized deal there. Like they're making the determination on when to give an influx to the market, depending on. I have to find the verbiage for it in the white paper. And then the whole score of your data thing. I'm trying to understand that concept of just like, is that if I'm using my phone in my browser a lot and I'm Googling a lot of things and I'm clicking on a lot of apps, like my data is more valuable than if I don't have social media or I don't use it? Like, is that all that is? That's how I understood it.
I haven't read much of the white paper.
It's a fucking hefty ass. I read about half of it and then I inebriated and read the second half, so that didn't stick as well.
I just looked at their roadmap and was like, oh shit, if they do this, this is going to be massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, their roadmap seems really fucking like damn.
The white paper is just like a most mind-blowingly technical report. It's insane.
What is Decenter at? 35 cents?
It's great. 26 million market cap. Like that just makes me smile.
It's tiny.
I put $600 down.
Like it got traded 5 mil today. Freeway got traded 2 mil today. Like it's not big.
It's a small body.
But the YouTube pump on the graph is hilarious to me.
It's
that was the YouTube pump.
Oh yeah,
that was the YouTube pump.
Literally 30 minutes it did that line. It went up.
Dude, these YouTubers, Garrett, do you think they're getting paid big bucks?
For sure.
Some of them, I know most of them. So like the guy who pumped this was Elio Trades, who is like a really dope, nice BitBoy crypto, lost a bunch of money. He makes a bunch of really well-informed videos. He doesn't sell any of the stuff that he buys. He's pretty much just holds, but yeah, I mean, he buys stuff and then like, well, I mean, he gets like, if you're a big YouTuber like him, like you have projects, you have dinky little cryptos coming to you all the time that are like, please push my product, because they want to make, if you're like a little dinky crypto who like kind of makes some BS product and then you get a big YouTuber to pump you, then you own 40% of the coins and you just sell them all and then you just delete your project and you just move on with millions of dollars in profit. So he has to like vet, he interviews everyone multiple times. He waits like months before he actually releases them on his channel, and he doesn't sell after he makes a video.
But
so
I'm
he's
saying
legit.
Most people, I mean, what's stopping him from getting paid 200 grand to help these guys make 5 million?
Right. So he becomes an affiliate helper to some projects. And whenever he is an affiliate, he says it at the beginning of the video.
Oh, yeah.
But like, if you aren't genuine, then you're not gonna get subscribers, because if you're shilling something that's just crap and then all of your followers just lose massive money, like no one's gonna subscribe to you
For a long
and
term.
literally every, like if you started following this guy in August and you had $5,000, you would have a couple $100,000 right now. All you would have to do is subscribe to this guy on YouTube and put $500 into every coin he mentions, and everything he said has 50 to 100x.
Wow. He's the one that interviewed Freeway, right?
Yeah. He interviewed Freeway. He on a stream.
Oh, that was the video with him. That was him.
On a stream, he mentioned Freeway for like 5 seconds. Like just randomly threw out the name Freeway token. And then I just like wrote it down, and I just write all the names down of every token I hear on every stream. And then I just go through and I look at all of them and I read about all of them. And I found Freeway token and I was like, oh shit, this is dope. And then I was just looking for a bunch of videos on Freeway token. And then I found one that he had a video on it like 5 months ago or something like that. He had an interview when he was super small channel. He had an interview with one of the guys. But so far he hasn't made a video on just Freeway token.
Yeah.
Which he probably will at some point. When they come around to release their product, then Freeway token will start to get a lot of traction.
Yeah. What about, what do you
months.
know, or what have you done research on Euler? Or is that just, you know that it's coming out?
I mean, I won't until, I don't know exactly what Euler does. All I know, it's some type of gas thing that's kind of like Rook. But until I don't really want to dive into it until it's like going to be viable, because like it might not even be a thing, might not even have any use by the time it becomes viable.
Yeah.
And like he'll come out with a video probably on like how to sign up for the pre-sale and like talk about it when it comes out. But I've read into it a little bit. But it's essentially just like a way to make money off gas and stuff. But there's a lot of cryptos that are out about that right now, which I still need to look into. But one of them is Rook, which has gained a bunch of popularity, which is not a bad buy, Rook.
Nolan, like Up Token was the best idea ever. Up Token had the best idea I've ever heard.
Up Token?
I mean, it's just kind of out of date, Dave.
I'm just saying, back then, that was the best idea ever. And
now
someone else took it over. So now think about Euler. Like, great idea, but like someone else is bigger.
Who took them over though?
There's ATMs. Dom has an ATM next to his house.
Yeah, but I'm saying like,
Up Token.
yeah, no, I get that. They're not very popular though, I think overall. The whole
I'm just saying, like, that idea was fucking amazing, but someone else bigger took it over.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to eat some food.
Yeah, thanks, Garrett.
Um,
I mean, to summarize what we pretty much we talked about the market deal in the beginning, which wasn't really planned, but
So I mean, then
Yeah.
Garrett explain how to get out. That was my main thing. Is like when shit 10x's, what do? That was big.
well, and a lot of the times you might not even have access to. I mean, generally, if the whole market starts to really bull run, like you'll know. Like when you look at your portfolio and every time you refresh portfolio, you make $500 and that happens for an hour. That's
No,
that's been happening.
that's been happening all week.
right.
It's been happening for weeks.
But I'm talking like
A couple $100 every day.
I'm
it
talking
hasn't
like
stopped.
every
Today's the
5
first
minutes
lost
it goes
$1,000.
up $500.
Whatever. I'm not
Right.
pulling profits yet.
But it's nice to know how you